It's 9:30. We will be calling to order the Cumberland County Salary Board and Board of Commissioners meeting. Are we okay on the video? At this time, before we begin, I would like to take a moment to reflect and a moment of silence and remember all of those who lost their lives on this day 24 years ago. So if we could just all take a moment, please. Thank you. We will now begin with a roll call.
Commissioner Nader.
I'm here.
Commissioner Fauci.
I'm here.
Commissioner Eichelberger. Controller Wickham.
Here.
We are at the point on the agenda where we allow for public comment of the salary board. If there's anyone online wishing to make public comment, please use the raise your hand feature. Are we seeing anyone there, Audrey?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. Okay, we'll move on into the approval of the minutes of August 28th.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of August 28th.
A second. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next is the approval of the salary board actions.
Make a motion to approve all the salary board actions as presented.
A second. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Is there any other business to come before the salary board at this time?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, thank you, Al. I appreciate that. We will go into the Board of Commissioners meeting and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will begin with a roll call, please, Audrey.
Commissioner Nader.
I am here.
Commissioner Fauci.
I'm here.
Commissioner Eichelberger.
Now is the time on the Board of Commissioners meeting for individuals to make public comment on non-agenda items. I believe we have folks in the room, but I don't think they're here for public comment. Is there anyone online wishing to make a comment at this time? Thank you. That will lead us into, as I often say, some of the best parts of our meetings, where we are doing a proclamation today recognizing September as Hunger Action Month. And I'll be reading that proclamation, and then we have a number of guests here that we'd like to come up and talk about the great work that they are doing to address this need in our community. So the proclamation reads, whereas the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes the Cumberland County Food System Alliance for its commitment to supporting a sustainable local food system that fosters economic vitality, increases food security, promotes wellness, and advances community resilience in Cumberland County. And whereas during Hunger Action Month, the Alliance partners with Cumberland County food banks and pantries to raise awareness about hunger and food insecurities. And whereas food insecurity, the condition of limited or uncertain access to adequate food, is associated with numerous adverse social and health outcomes and is a critical public health issue in our county, state, and nation. And whereas according to Feeding America, over 1.5 million people, 1 in 8 Pennsylvanians, and 1 in 6 children experience food insecurity. In Cumberland County, 1 in 9 residents and 1 in 7 children are food insecure. And whereas Cumberland County is supported by the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank, which has distributed more than 5.5 million pounds of food to those experiencing food insecurity, And whereas we must work together to address food insecurity, we call on residents and employees to donate if they can, volunteer at one of the many food banks if they are able, or advocate and lend their voice to help those in need in our community. Therefore, the Cumberland County Commissioners proclaim September 2025 as Hunger Action Month. We will make some presentations, and we have some representatives here from the Food Alliance. So I think we'll begin with them, with Stephanie Williams, who is as a senior planner with us.
Well, I think we'll just all come up with that.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. We can do that too. So we have Stephanie Williams, Marion Leidig, Eric Saunders, Crossley, I believe. Sorry, Jed Crossley, Ty Jarrer, Lisa Maddox, and Sarah Walters.
I think you're nice to see you too. Squeeze good in here.
Okay. On the end.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know that any of us actually prepare to speak.
No.
Speak for yourself.
Well, no, I would just say, on behalf of the Cumberland County Food System Alliance, thank you for doing this, and we hope it does raise awareness on the issue of hunger and raise awareness about these wonderful organizations who are doing good work. But if anyone else would like to give a speech.
Well, given the comments, it's no surprise that the problem of hunger is increasing right now in our county. And the organizations that are meeting those needs for food security are working incredibly hard with diminishing resources. Our partnership with county and local businesses and other nonprofit organizations like the Central PA Food Bank are absolutely essential to make sure that people don't go hungry. Over the last year, I know at our agency, New Hope Ministries, we saw an increase of 13% in the number of people served. And I think that's pretty typical across the charitable food system in Pennsylvania. That was the lowest increase in the last 4 years. We're serving double the number of people experiencing food insecurity and poverty that we were 4 years ago. And unfortunately, because of policy changes and economic circumstances, we expect those numbers to only rise over the next year. And so there's never been a more important time for government and businesses and community to support their food security partners. And we could not do what we do without you. So we're incredibly grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all for doing the tremendous work of supporting those folks that need you most in times when they need you. So thank you all, and I guess we'll do a few formal pictures, and I have some certificates to hand out here. So we might have to squeeze in. We did tight run.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
I'm not
Trying to
tall.
get
Super tall.
heated. This way, no, just like move, just a little more. Okay.
Good there.
I think I can see.
Proclamation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do we want to have?
Okay.
We have multiple ones. So do we want
Project Share? Here you go.
these glasses? This is the 1470.
And the, sorry, spell, that's it.
And then you get to hold it in your hand or something.
There you go.
That's how you do that.
I'm a volunteer.
There you go.
Gary, can I get you to come up a little bit in front of the flag there?
Okay.
Sorry.
Untangling yourself.
Okay. All right, I think I can get everyone. All right, everyone look here. Gonna take several.
Thank you. And I'm not sure.
We'll figure it out.
Oh,
Thank you so
thank you.
much. Thank you very much. A little bit of that. Thank you.
System Alliance. So.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you get your stuff. What is yours? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Lisa. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Good meeting you.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we're gonna duck out and figure it out.
You are all welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or you're more than free to.
We're gonna go feed-
You're gonna go and do good work. Thank you all so very much. That brings us to the consent agenda, and I'll turn that over to our chief clerk, Stacy Snyder.
Thank you, Commissioner. So the consent agenda is a list of routine items that do not appear to be controversial in nature and which do not seem to require any additional discussion. That would be agenda items numbers 5 through 11. If anyone anyone would desire discussion on any of those agenda items, now would be the time to make that request. Hearing none, seeing none, commissioners, I would seek approval of the consent
I
agenda.
move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners. That takes us then to the regular agenda, which is a list of non-routine items that will be discussed and may be acted upon individually. And we'll start with agenda item 12, which is discussion and approval for the planning department to accept the donation. And I'll let Stephanie Williams explain.
Yes, so for our celebration that we're holding next week for farmland preservation, we were able to acquire one more donation from Wise Markets in the amount of $50.
I will move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Stephanie. That takes us then to agenda item 13, which is a discussion and approval for the Cumberland County Archives to receive a donation. And Commissioner Weaver, I believe you'll be discussing.
Yes, a gentleman, Philip Dunham, reached out to me regarding his guide to historical markers of Pennsylvania from 1948. So he graciously donated that to us, and we'd like to thank him for that donation and accept it into the archives. We do not currently have a copy of this in our archives, so someone. I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you, Commissioners. That takes us then to agenda item 14, and we have James Brandt joining us online to discuss and seek approval for donations for the 2025 LEPC Summit for the Department of Public Safety. Morning, James.
Good morning, everyone. The Department of Public Safety is asking for the Board of Commissioners approval to accept sponsorship money to be used in offsetting the expenses to host the 2025 LEPC Summit. Without sounding like a broken record every month, but for those who don't know, the summit's a one-day conference that brings together county businesses and facilities, safety personnel, emergency management, first responders, local state government, and more for educational presentations on emergency preparedness and safety. The Planning Committee has received a payment from Care Environmental in the amount of $1,000 for a gold sponsorship, a payment from ServPro Team Wall Harrisburg West in the amount of $500 for a silver sponsorship, and payments from Cargill, Classic Dry Cleaners and Laundromats, and PA One Call Systems in the amount of $250 each for bronze sponsorships. The approval of these 5 sponsors would bring our current number to 20, with total sponsorship funds of $10,500. The LEPC is very thankful for the support that these agencies have given to the mission. And again, we ask for your approval to accept the sponsorship money to be applied towards the summit. Thank you.
Any questions?
I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioners. Thanks, James.
Thank
That
you.
takes us then to agenda item 15, which is discussion and possible approval of a resolution regarding the land partnership plan for Cumberland County. And I'll ask Stephanie Williams to cover this agenda item.
So we were here a few weeks ago requesting authorization to put the land partnerships plan out for public comment. That was done and the public had about 30 days to respond. We did receive feedback from 21 organizations or entities or individuals. 5 were from organizations and 16 were individuals. I would say in general, everything was very positive. There was no negative feedback received. The most impactful feedback we received was from our Land Partnership Steering Committee, where they made some suggestions how we might change Chapter 6 to be more consistent with some previous chapters related to the formatting of how we presented the implementation plan. So we did make some changes to the final chapter, just the last 3 or 4 pages based on that feedback. But all in all, the plan remains largely the same as you had seen it previously. This resolution is essentially a formality of the DCNR grant program, whereby we have to accept the plan and say we're going to generally use the plan as we go forward with farmland preservation, natural resource, and parks, trails, and greenways programs. And be happy to answer any questions you have. And I believe that there may be 1 or 2 individuals that might wish to say something.
Thank you. Are there individuals online, Stephanie, that you would like to?
Potentially, I believe, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
If anyone is online and would like to make a comment regarding this, please indicate. Oh, we have an indication. There's someone.
I have Miss Julia Chain.
Okay. Yes, please, if we can welcome Julia to the discussion.
Hello, all. Thank you so much for having me today. I apologize. I'm calling in from a Capital RC&D board meeting in Dauphin County. I just wanted to, again, echo speaking for my role as the program manager of the South Mountain Partnership, and then also my role on the Land Partnership Steering Committee, that we're really excited about this plan. And I think it puts together a really exciting path forward for the next 10 years for the county. And thank you again for the opportunity to participate. And I'm excited to see this plan formalized today. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia, for stepping away to support the plan. Is there anyone else online indicating they'd like to? Oh, we have someone in the audience.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes, could
yeah.
you please state your name?
Real life. I'm Cameron Weiser. I'm the Land Protection Director for Central Pennsylvania Conservancy and the Treasurer for Cumberland Conservation Collaborative. Both groups are really in support of the plan. We're really impressed with what the county and what Michael Baker were able to do with it. And I think it's a really good plan for the future. So we're excited to engage with it and yeah, look forward to the approval today.
Thank you for being here and thank you for your support of that. Anyone else? All right. If no one has questions of Stephanie, we'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioners. And I'll actually not thank Stephanie yet because she's going to cover agenda item 16 for us, which is authorization of the 2025-2026 Land Partnerships Grant Program guidelines.
Sure. While we were going through the planning process, we did put on hold our Land Partnerships Grant Program. So we banked $650,000 that is available for distribution. That is from our Act 13 funds. Through that planning process, we did elect to make a few changes to the grant program guidelines, which what you have before you is revised program guidelines. And the changes that were made is we removed the category of water resource management. Through Elizabeth Grant and her Clean Water Grant Program, there's similar funding available through that. So we thought it was kind of duplicative. So have those programs go to that program, or those projects go to that program. We also pulled out the ordinance assistance category since we have the Cumberland Plans Grant Program where folks can go to that source for ordinances. Otherwise, the program guidelines are generally the same with removal of those 2 activities and pushing them towards the more appropriate source of funds, I should say, or the dedicated source of funds for those activities. So requesting your authorization to release this grant notice. We would have 1 round of grants this year, with the deadline being in December, and then another offering in June, or another deadline in June where folks could submit. The idea was hopefully there's some folks that are ready to go with projects, but maybe some folks need a little bit more time. And then come July 1, we will have another allocation from Act 13 funds that could be applied to this pot of funds. Don't know what that'll be yet. This year it was 175,000, so I would assume something similar to that.
Thank you. And Stephanie, I know we're getting some requests for support of some projects that I think will that are applying for LSA funding. So I think that you will have people anxious to apply under this grant program.
I believe so too. We have, had some conversations with folks along the way of projects that are getting geared up. So we're excited to be able to make this available.
So remind me, what was the reason for the deferral, the banking of the snow?
Just so we could go through the planning process and see if there was a different prioritization for the funding than, was previously set up. And as I mentioned, taking out those two categories was something we learned through the planning process. And I would also add that what we heard during the planning process, what the priority should be is acquisition of open space, new parkland, new trails was really something that came to the forefront as high priority. So we hope as applications come in that they will reflect the high priority projects that were identified in the planning process.
Appreciate that. It's always good to revisit things. Are there any other questions for Stephanie at this time? No, I will move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Stephanie. That takes us then to agenda item 17, which is a discussion of a right-of-way plan and then possible approval of that. Got Kirkstone.
Sure, commissioners, this is our North Grantham Bridge Replacement Project. York County is leading this. We're at the right-of-way phase. They've secured all the right-of-way. We need to sign the right-of-way plan for recording purposes so we can move the project on completion. Right-of-way on our side of the creek is minimal. Beside College, we have a 0.058 acre permanent right-of-way and a 0.131 temporary construction easement. And then one of the big delays in the project is work with Norfolk Southern for a 0.25 acre temporary construction, which took us a very long time to secure. So we're at the point now where the right-of-way has been negotiated, it's been secured. We need your signature on the right-of-way plans for reporting.
Thank you.
I just have one question. Is Upper Allen Township aware of this?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I will move to approve. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Kurt. That takes us to the contracts and grants portion of the agenda, and I'll ask Angela Smyser to cover those.
Thank you, Stacy. Good morning, everybody. Taking us to agenda item 18, I will call on Jamie Reiber to discuss the contracts for children and youth services. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, everyone. The first contract I have is the Bear Foundation. They provide foster care services as well as some transportation services. They have increases ranging from 1.99% to 10.87%, with one outlier increasing 20.69%, which is their mileage reimbursement, bringing it up to the federal rate. The majority of their increases to the foster care rates are actually due to significant increases that they're giving directly to the foster parents for the direct care of the children in their homes each day. The next one is a new contract, a new provider for us for 25-26. It's Bethany House of Cumberland County, and they provide independent living services to females over age 18. And like I said, we are familiar with the program and we have utilized them in ways in the past, but we are developing a contract with them for this fiscal year. The next one is Clear Vision Residential Treatment Services. They provide secure residential services for adolescent females, and their rate is increasing 9.5% for the upcoming fiscal year, or current fiscal year, actually. The next one is Concern Professional Services for Children, Youth, and Families. They provide foster care, independent living services, residential services, as well as several in-home services. Several of their levels did not increase at all. Two of them actually decreased their rates. And the remaining levels increased between 0.21% and 26.13%. However, the majority of those increases are actually below 7%. The next one is Family Care Services. They provide foster care services. They have two levels of foster care, and they increased 10% and 12% for 25-26. Again, increases going to their foster parents. The next one is Marikey, Pennsylvania. They provide foster care services as well as an intensive in-home service program. They had minimal rate changes for 25-26, but 2 levels did decrease their rate. 3 levels increased their rate, 0.04%, 0.8%, and 1.16%. And the last one is Presley Ridge. They provide foster care as well as a diversionary parenting program. The diversionary parenting program increased 9.24%. And then the foster care levels were increases between 10.27 and 19.39%. Again, all of those increasing the direct rate to their foster parents as well. Any questions?
I don't have any. Does anyone else?
No, I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and thank you, Jamie. All right, that takes us to agenda item 19, and I will call on Todd Merrill to discuss the contracts for domestic relations. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I have 2 agreements to review with you. One is the cooperative agreement, which would be effective from October 1st, 2025 through September 30th of 2030. And it's a standardized contract signed by all 67 counties to support the administration and enhancement of the Title 4D child support program in Pennsylvania. It outlines responsibilities of both the county and the Department of Human Services, including service delivery, reimbursement of allowable expenses, and incentive payments tied to federal performance standards. All the funds received from this must be used exclusively to maintain or improve the Title 4D program within the county. And the second one is the Sheriff's Service Agreement, which runs concurrently with the cooperative agreement. It defines the duties of the Sheriff's Office in supporting the domestic relations section, particularly in providing security services. It also specifies the support DRS will provide to the Sheriff's Department. This agreement is necessary for the county to qualify for Department of Human Services reimbursement of 66% of eligible salary and benefit costs based on the average compensation of the non-supervisory deputy sheriffs who provide security at our office.
Any questions for Todd?
I don't have any.
No, I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. All right, that takes us to agenda item 20, and I will call on Josie Bentley to discuss the contracts for human resources. Good morning, Josie.
Good morning. I have 3 contracts today. The first one is our vision insurance renewal through Capital Blue Cross for 2026. There's an 8.2% increase to rates, or an estimated projected $6,000 in annual premium. This is based on enrollment. The next contract I have is Capital Blue Cross Avalon Stop Loss Insurance. It's a 0 rate increase for 2026. However, there's a slight projected increase, approximately $6,000 based on, again, enrollment. And the last contract I have is our dental insurance renewal for 2026 through United Concordia. The renewal increase is a 5% rate cap, which is approximately $32,000 in annual premium based on enrollment. Any questions?
No, I will move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. That takes us to agenda item 21, and I will call on Miranda Melton to discuss the contract for MHIDD. Good morning, Miranda.
Morning. I only have one contract this morning. It is for Erie County Care Management. They provide supports coordination services for us. This is a contract for fiscal year 25-26. It is a decrease slightly from last year, just based on the billing that we had for last year. This contract is for $5,143. Any questions?
To approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you.
Takes us to agenda item 22, and I will call on Travis Shank to discuss a grant application for the prison. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. I come to you bringing you money.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Yeah, at that time of year again, I come before you this morning for your approval to apply for the SCAP grant, the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program. This grant is for $15,000. And just because I think you'll have a question, Kelly, you see a decrease, but it's not going to be a decrease. This is the number that we go off of. For the last 3 years, we have not got less than 15,000. So we started with 15. So that when I get more, I can come here in a good grace again. The SCAP provides federal payments to the state and the counties to be applied towards correctional officers' salaries and facilities that hold these undocumented criminal aliens with at least 1 felony and 2 misdemeanor convictions for violation of state or local laws. and are incarcerated for 4 consecutive days in the reporting period.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions for the warden? We'll entertain a motion. A second. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, warden.
Great, that takes us to agenda item 23, and I will call on Bob Shackley to discuss the contract addendum for public safety. Good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. The first one is our priority dispatch contract. This is a redo from August 14th. I had inadvertently thought the contract was, well, it is locked for all 5 years, but the 5th year does not have the discount. So the first 4 years have a 15% discount. So I needed to clarify the pricing. Pricing is $95,500 per year. We get 15% off for the first 4 years, and then the 5th year is at the locked full price. So it is still substantial savings at $57,300, but I needed to correct the price on the 5th year to that $95,500.
Understood. Thank you. Any questions of?
No, but I move to approve.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, thank you. And Bob actually has the next agenda item as well, which is a donation.
Public safety is also requesting to receive a donation from the Cumberland County Fire Chiefs Association. The value is $12,995. It would be for a Starlink terminal, which is a portable Wi-Fi high-speed satellite connectivity. You can transport it like suitcase in a vehicle. It would support both our incident support team for field response as well as the mobile communications unit when needed. We've had a couple incidents with either no connectivity or limited connectivity due to public demand and a larger incident. Dauphin County and York County have seen good results with a similar unit. The fire chiefs, have been complimentary of our incident support, and they said that they were willing to purchase the unit. We would then pay the monthly $65 service fee, which we're looking to offset one of our current either MiFis or something to cover that. So
Thank you, Bob. And please thank them on our behalf.
Sure.
Really generous of them to make that donation.
We should write a note.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you. But no, I think that we've learned that we definitely need something like this. So that is very generous, and I will move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
And I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Angela. And I would note that Audrey has the letter.
Thank
for
you.
to sign. Okay, so that takes us then to agenda item 25, which is Commissioner's Liaison Reports. And we'll start with you.
Yes, so last 2 weeks, we were not all that tremendously busy. We unfortunately, my Ag Board meeting was canceled. There was no business to come before the Ag Board. I did attend the Carlisle Chamber of Commerce mixer at Coac and Griffey. It was a beautiful evening, and they give out apple dumplings. So what could be wrong with that? We all participated as a panel for the Greater Harrisburg Association of Realtors. Gary and I attended the West Shore Chamber of Commerce Luminary Awards Luncheon, where 2 women that are associated with Cumberland County took home awards. Kelly Palmer, who serves on our Commission for Women and our Planning Commission, and works with Comcast, was given the Shining Star Award, and Janet Anderson, the Executive Director of CADIC, was given the Visionary Award. It was nice to celebrate along with those 2 women. I attended a presentation provided by the developer on the data center for the residents of Middlesex Township at the Carlisle Sports Emporium. And it was quite an event. There was a lot of opposition. There was also a lot of, just a lot of really good questions and a lot of experts on hand to answer those questions. Additionally, this morning I attended, CREDIC had a Policy Pulse speaker series, and the guest was Senator Dawn Kiefer and Neil Lesher from the Government Affairs from the PA Chamber. And that topic too was in regard to data centers. So this is an issue, and I know we've all received now several emails in regard to data centers. It is one that I believe some folks from our Planning Commission are considering working with Dickinson to try and do some sort of educational forum, if possible, that would be neutral and provide good information. And I know Kirk Stoner is here, who's our Director of Planning, and was really ahead of this curve. And Kirk, I did share your white paper with the attendees this morning on data centers. So we are very much paying attention to that, wired to that, concerned about it, but also understand. It was very clear, data centers are coming to Pennsylvania. They are actively looking. We have what they need to be successful, and that is land, water, power, and fiber in many locations. So constituents are concerned. We're hearing that, and we will continue to be involved in the conversation. Lastly, I participated in the Creedic Harrisburg Chamber of Commerce's planning retreat, and there was just a lot of thoughtful discussion on what they're doing well, what they can improve upon, and what they need to do into the future. So it's exciting to be around organizations that are really planning, just as we are, to what's coming down the pike here in the future for the county. That's it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Bocci.
Well, good morning, Cumberland County. I would remind you to use the Cumberland County Library System. I attended, listened into the Cumberland Perry Drug and Alcohol Commission to their meeting. Boy, that was very interesting. Brenda Iliff seems to have a very nice approach with that group, and there was lots of good give and take. I really appreciated being able to listen in on that meeting. The Western Cog met, and I shared the data center white paper with the Western Cog because they also have lots of questions, particularly around zoning. There was a person, and I reached out to Director Shively about this, and I need to figure out exactly what the answer to that question is, but there were concerns about, hey, do we need to renew our current radio licenses? Because this P25 project is moving forward. And could be coming to an end very soon. So there was a question about that I will follow up on. I attended the very first DUI court graduation, and that was excellent. So sitting on Harrisburg Area Transportation Study on the coordinating committee, I've said this before, that DUI is the largest traffic problem that we have in this county, in this region. So it's so good to see that DUI court working to keep people out of prison and get them on a road where they are not reoffending, not getting in a car and driving under the influence. So I really appreciate the work of that particular court. I will remind you, October 9th, 2025, 8:30 a.m., the LEPC is having their annual summit. It will be at AHAC, and it is always fantastic. And I bet it's on its way to being a sold out show, as it usually is. So that's it. Just what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Eckberger.
Okay, just a handful of things. 2 weeks ago, I reported the MHIED meeting was that day. That did not take place. But I do have a summary that Annie Strike provided me yesterday. So I'll just hit a couple of highlights on that. So the continued focus remains on the budget. No surprise there. They're waiting for the state to pass that urgently, of course. But the department has met with the MH providers to address the budget impasse and continue having the information loop active there to collaborate with them regarding how we're allocating resources during the impasse so that we can stretch those dollars as best as possible. So as she wanted us to know, the MH staff's been asked to present at 2 upcoming events. Pennsylvania Commission for Crime and Delinquency is hosting a statewide crisis intervention symposium in October. They're going to present in partnership with staff of the National Stepping Up Initiative and along with 2 other counties that are also working with that initiative. And they've also been asked to present at the upcoming OPC Summit in November for the Region 6, and that's going to share the work on the Connections Walk-In Crisis Intervention Center that's located in Dauphin County, serves the 3 counties. We've mentioned all of us have been involved with that for a while now. These events are all being funded by Department of Human Services. So that's their training funds are going to this. So our folks are lending their expertise, and they're doing it at the with the approval of DHS and on DHS's dime. So that's always a positive when we're looking at financial issues. So the next long-term structured residential project, we haven't discussed that in quite a while, but of course there's it's being done in partnership with Franklin and Fulton counties. They're moving forward on that steadily. They're at this point waiting on approvals from Conservation District and then some approvals from Shippensburg Township. The hope is that the construction will begin before cold weather and that the completion should be by June of next year. So that project, Annie reminds us, is funded by the lawsuit settlement with DHS. So that's money in the bank that's going for a project that's been in the works for a while. September is, of course, Suicide Prevention Month. We've addressed that each of the last several years. There are several upcoming events she asked me to make sure everybody was aware of. This Saturday, September 13, the local Cumberland Perry NAMI is hosting their annual walk at 10 a.m. It's at Adams Rookie Park in East Pennsbury Township. And there is an event on Everbright for details on that. But you got the time and the place. That's the important stuff. So Saturday, September 20th, the local chapter of American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is hosting their annual Out of the Darkness Walk. That's going to be at Carlisle Events across the fairgrounds up the road here a bit. So the Suicide Prevention Task Force has a team, and they're always looking for members. So that continues to be an active issue for us. And they have a website. You can, or you can look up Team Pulse. Pulse Project, of course, is preventing unnecessary loss through suicide education. So always good information on there. I have nothing from Mark regarding IDD, and Mark's out, taking a couple of PTO days. We also, with recycling, I did inquire with them. They did not have their meeting during this period, but I asked Justin specifically about the transfer issue with DEP regarding yard waste. And he said the transfer paperwork is being sent certified. He was just notified yesterday morning by email of that. So they should have it in a few days. And he said he will get it to you, Mr. Solicitor, so you can receive it and review it as soon as possible. We can then act on that. So let's see, it was already mentioned about the Realtors Forum, the West Shore Chamber event, and those were both just great events in my opinion. We do have later today, the Blighted Property Board is slated to meet. I'll be there. And that's everything I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. That takes us to agenda item 26, which is a report of executive sessions. And we'd like to report that on September 4, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. there was an executive session held regarding personnel. And now I'll ask if there's any other business to come before the board today. Hearing none, seeing none, we are adjourned.
Thank you.